Senator Kaine, and if Senator Kaine would take over the presiding duties, please.
Be glad to. Thank you, Senator Kuntz, and thanks to the witnesses for a great hearing. I'm going to confine my comments to the 91 and 02 AUMFs. I think the 2001 AUMF revision is a more complex decision, and so let me just confine my comments to 91 and 02. I believe the repeal of 91 and 02 is very straightforward because the war is over. The 91 authorization was to push Iraq out of Kuwait. We succeeded. The 02 authorization was to topple a hostile government, the government of Saddam Hussein. We succeeded. And in the years since he was executed following a trial in 2006, there's a new government that's been constituted, so the war is over. After World War II, we didn't keep a military authorization live against Japan just in case. We didn't keep an authorization live against Germany just in case. And we could have, because we'd had 2 wars against Germany in the previous 30 years. But no, we ended the war and we made allies out of Japan and Germany. After the Vietnam War, we did not keep a military authorization for war against Vietnam around just in case. We've worked to build an increasingly cooperative partnership with Vietnam. There's still challenges in that relationship. But we don't keep military authorizations around when the war is over just in case. We try to make allies and partners out of those with whom we've been at war. That's something that's, what a unique thing about our country, that we can be at war with Japan and then Japan becomes an amazing ally of the United States. That we can be at war with Germany and Germany becomes an amazing ally of the United States. That we can have a relationship with Vietnam where the USS John McCain does port visits in Da Nang Harbor. It speaks to the magnanimity of the United States and these other nations that we turn enemies into allies, that we beat swords into plowshares. And so when a war is over, we should not continue to label a nation an enemy. We should try to make them an ally. And I believe, Secretary Sherman, what you said, we've done this with Iraq to a significant degree. We've made them a partner. And to continue to label them as at least an enemy enough to warrant a war authorization against them strikes me as something that we haven't done in the past and we shouldn't do now. And let me dig into this. You're a diplomat and you've done a lot of work in the Middle East. What does Iran fear more? Would they rather have an Iraq that was hostile to the United States, or would they rather have an Iraq that was a close economic, diplomatic, military, strategic, humanitarian, and security partner with the United States? What is more trouble for Iran?
I think you've painted it quite clearly, Senator. Iran is quite anxious about the fact that we are partners now with Iraq.
So Iran would much rather have us be kind of on a war footing with Iraq because that would give them the ability to go to Iraq and say, the United States will never be your partner. They may, say some nice words now and then, but they're not really your partner. They've got a war authorization against you. They're unwilling to repeal it. What kind of a partner maintains an ongoing war authorization against you 10 years after a war is over? Your diplomatic work, you've done work with Iran. Iran clearly sees the U.S. relationship with Iraq as very problematic for itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
And your judgment about Prime Minister Khatami in the recent meetings with President Biden and others, Iraq really wants a strong relationship with the United States right now because for many reasons, including the threat they perceive from Iran. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it is.
So I think it's very important, given that maybe the 2 primary worries we have in the Middle East are Iran and non-state terrorist groups. I think it's really important that we send a message to Iran that the U.S. is here in Iraq and we're partners and we're going to work together. That's the message that we would send by repealing this, in my estimation. Now, the other worry is non-state terrorist organizations, including these militias that attack the United States. But when they attack U.S. troops, and I just want to make this clear, when they attack U.S. troops in Iraq or Syria, we almost have a belt and suspenders ability to go back at them. We have the Article 2 power to defend U.S. troops from attack. but also the U.S. troops that are there pursuant to the 2001 authorization, the anti-ISIS mission. And isn't it the case to our lawyers, if our troops are deployed in the anti-ISIS mission, and somebody attacks those troops, the 2001 authorization also gives us the ability to repel attacks against those U.S. forces that are deployed with respect to the anti-ISIS mission. Isn't that the case?
That is correct, Senator.
Ms. Grass?
Yes, I agree.
So repelling non-state terrorist attacks, including militia attacks in Iraq and Syria, the President has Article II power, and those troops deployed in the anti-ISIS mission are also covered by the 2001 AUMF. And so we have a belt and suspenders. I don't even know what you would have in addition to belt and suspenders. I don't know, long johns or something. We have a belt and suspenders military ability to protect the United States already with Article II in 2001. The war is long over in Iraq. We should recognize that reality as we have with past wars. Thank you, Mr. Oh, wait, I'm the chair for a few minutes. I recognize next
Enjoy it while
Senator
you
Haggerty.
can.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, not my brief
chairman
moment. My brief moment of fame.
Our chairman has returned, Senator Kaine.